Hi there! Today, I'll explain about our book review assignment. As always, feel free to look into the sample assignments, presentations, and other resources as your guide to this assignment. But remember, other classes could have had different assignments with different expectations on their rubrics. For this assignment, choose a book from the syllabus early on in the semester to review and start reading the book as soon as you can. If there is a book that you want to review but it is not on the syllabus, let me know and I can approve the book if it is appropriate for the course. For a book to be appropriate, it needs to be a primary qualitative study where the author is reporting about the study in a book format. It cannot be essays, opinions, critical analysis of key issues, literature reviews, meta-analysis, edited text, etc. It has to be one qualitative study conducted and reported in a book format. Your review will be divided into two parts. The first part is a summary of the book. Here you will share how the author discusses research purpose and questions, theoretical conceptual frameworks, data collection methods and sampling procedures, data analysis methods, findings and conclusions, and some personal reflections and critiques. Now, not all of these things would be as transparent to you while you read the book. So when you summarize, you will have to state something to the effect of, the author did not specifically mention this, but it seemed that the author grounded the study in interpretivism, and then give your own justification for why you thought so. In other words, if the author did not offer a clear narrative for any of the concepts I just mentioned, then try to take a guess and let your reader know the logic behind the guess. Where appropriate, cite existing readings to back up your logical, educated guess. Next, the author might not discuss data analysis methods in deep details either. That is because when we write books, we are limited in the number of pages within which we have to write the book. Therefore, we have to make some decisions about what to include and exclude. Often, what you will find is that the author has chapters that have titles, and most likely those titles are themes from the study. When you summarize the book, if the specific type of data analysis is not described, feel free to say something to the effect of, it seems that the author's data analysis corresponds thematically to the title of the chapters. Beyond that, the author does not discuss specific data analysis methods. Now, be careful before you say any of this, because there might be some things discussed in the appendix. So read it from cover to cover, including the appendices. There could be relevant information there. The second part of the book review is the critique. The critique should be methodological and not content-based. What that means is that do not focus on the subject matter of the book. Think about what are you learning about qualitative research, specifically when you're reading the book. For example, what are you learning about research design, subjectivity, data collection, trust building, rapport, ethical issues, ways of writing up findings, language use, etc. Then, whatever reaction, response you have about the book, ground it all in some readings that you have done so far in the class or other readings in qualitative research. In other words, don't simply react and say, I found it to be XYZ and leave it at that. You have to learn how to justify your position using scholarly resources within qualitative research. Now, given that you're going to do a review of a book that is grounded in qualitative inquiry, you'll have to offer your reflections that are aligned with the field of qualitative inquiry. That means you cannot try to assess the book for its methodological value using a positivist paradigm. In other words, you cannot say the book was weak because the results cannot be generalized or the sample size was small. Qualitative research is interpretive, and even if you disagree with the author's position, you have to assess whether the work was methodologically valuable from either interpretive, critical, or deconstructive perspectives. This means that your methodological questions, concerns, reflections should be grounded in the readings and not just in your reactions. This is also a training for you to cultivate and enhance your scholarly voice. Also, your reflection should not be a bashing of the author. They should be about reflecting on the methodology, about deep introspection, and about your learning. It is an important skill as a learner of any type to develop introspection, and this is a space to cultivate that skill. I want to caution you a bit on critiques. You might be used to a book review format where you've had to find holes in the author's work in the past. This assignment does not have that expectation. I much rather would hear what was clear to you, what questions do you still have, how have you connected the work of the author to the readings we have done in the class. Now, if you feel like the work could be critiqued for its methodology, I urge that you proceed with caution. The reason being is that you're still new to qualitative inquiry, and you might be making certain assumptions that may be incorrect or based on limited exposure. Therefore, if you choose to do strong methodological critique in your personal reflections, then I ask that you do the following. Read widely and deeply before offering your critique. Cite closely, and don't rely on only the critique, but balance it with what you have learned and found value in someone's work. There's always value in reading different work that is informed by alternative perspectives. I want you to stay open to what you can learn so that you're focusing on your learning and not how you can take down someone else's work. I believe in being ethical scholars and scholarly practitioners. Consider the author's humanity before you make any comment about the book. Scholarly work does not require drawing blood. There's a level of posturing and insecurity that is put on display when you choose to draw blood or focus on how you can find holes in other people's work. I encourage you to approach the reflection with an ethics of professionalism and consider your argument from multiple perspectives instead of the one that you're most comfortable or drawn to. As always, stick to APA guidelines, and I am looking forward to reading your work. Good luck.